Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're going to start our playthrough of Panzer North Africa from GMT Games, designed by James Day and Fernando Sola Ramos. Okay, so I have been reading and reading, a little practice plays, but I still sure I'm going to make some mistakes with this. There is a ton. When you get this many rule books going, you are going to run into things, I'm sure. And one of the things on the rule books, on the backs of them, are things like the terrain key or combat effects summary. So we have different things on the back of the rule book. So a couple tables I did print off from the rule books. This one, Panzer North Africa solitaire tables. I need those. So these are things that we'll be using for the solitaire game. And then of course the combat effects summary. So I did a back-to-back on my cardstock so I could have it handy instead of having to grab the rule books all the time. We're going to do a solo, so a solitaire scenario will be in scenario book 2. We're going to play Operation Crusader, clash at Gabr Saleh, near Gabr Saleh, Libya, 19 November 1941. Okay, scenario number 63. It's 3 of the map boards. British on the right, Germans on the left. And we have our German force, which is made up, these are all vehicles, so no infantry in this scenario, which is one reason I took it. We have elements of elements of Kampfgruppe Stefan, 21st Panzer Division, and they are seasoned. It's a light Panzer Company mixed, seasoned, excellent. CP-14 action activation modifier -5, and they are offensive. The British force is elements of the 8th Hussars, seasoned, cruiser squadron, mixed, seasoned, excellent. So I've got all Stuarts. And a couple of recon groups out here. And the Germans have Panzer 3Gs, 3H, which is their main enemy unit, 2F, 4E, and the couple of the PSW 221s. Okay, scout vehicles. Okay, they are veterans. All right. So, with all that said, I went ahead and I've done the setup for the game, and this is a big map, so we'll have to do some maneuvering here. There are 3 victory point locations, and they are all 3 road intersections. So we have one up here in the middle, and then up here towards the top we have one more. The Germans come on in different groups here, and I've kind of been toying with this, and I think I'm still going to do it because it doesn't make sense to have them overstacked. So the Germans come on this side of the board, and we'll do this. I'm using this camera so I can do some zooming for you, so I can get you in a little closer. But you can see on this stack here, they'll be coming in onto the dirt road, okay? And then down here, gotta back it back out, we have the rest of them, 14 through 16, and then 17 through 21, and 22 through 25. Now, they're numbered like that because these groups will be assigned different victory point hex priority. Okay, so German unit 1 through 8 goes to 39J6 is their first priority, 9 through 13, 39S5, 14 through 16, 39S5 also, that's the middle one, and 17 through 25, 39 BB8, which is down here at the bottom. All right. So, that's why the groups are kind of broke apart like they are there. The British are coming on over here. And so I have all my Stuarts here. and I have my Marmon Harringtons, I believe that is. They scout vehicles. They're coming on right there, not on a road. And then I have my Humber Mark IIs and 3s. So on the British cards, B13A Humber Mark II and 3, and it gives their detail on the card, and then their offensive and defensive information. In the Marmon Harrington Mark IIs, the other scout vehicles, they're here, and then of course the Stuart 1 Honey right here in his vehicles. Now, these guys are wheeled vehicles. They're not tracked, which makes them difficult to move in the sand, whereas the tanks do a lot better on the sand. Okay. All right. So using the solo rules, it does make for more dice rolling. A few more things that'll be happening in the game. But I did print off also the Panzer North Africa formation summary. My formation is Stuart 1s. The command vehicle is number 155. And then over here, I broke these guys out 1 through 8, 9 through 13, 14 to 16, and 17 to 25. So what I'll be doing is, as they get revealed, we'll get numbers on those units, and we will be putting them in here so that I can keep track of which ones came from these groups, because they have different objectives, and that's what I got to keep track of. So a little bit of an exercise, not too bad. We just got to keep track of it. Way up here in the upper right is the turn track. So we have that going. Like I said, the objectives is for each of us to control all 3 of the victory points. So all 3 road intersections. The Germans want to control them. I want to control them. They have much better armor than I do, so we'll see how this goes. But hopefully we can do something. The other thing with this map, it is wide open, and there are some overlays on the map. Let's see, let's go this one first. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here so you can see it. I think you'll be able to see it there. Whoops. Okay, so this is a sand overlay. A lot of times this sand, when it's like this, is soft sand, but in this scenario, it's all sand, just normal sand. But it does block off the roads in a couple spots where the roads don't go through. And then over here, this big one, same thing, it cut off the road there. Then there was a gully that we laid in. There's a little bit of a gully sticking out right there, and then your gully there. So we only used 3, 4. There's some rough terrain right here also that got put on. So what this did on this map was it's like a watering hole, and like an oasis is under here that it covered that up. So it takes it out for that map. Okay, we are using map boards 40. Let's see. Back this up again. We have map board 40 on the left, 39 in the center, and 36 right here. Okay. So we have everything done there. So what we can do is get ready. One of the first things that you need to know is your enemy initiative rating. So in this case, these guys are seasoned, so their number's 50. So, and in this scenario, the special rules tell us not to use any modifiers for initiative. Let's see. When determining initiative, no force grade modifiers apply. So we're not going to apply any force grade modifiers. We're just going to play straight up on here for initiative. We're going to be able to use on the game cards the sequence of play. It stays pretty much the same. with a few adjustments for the spotting and those things, but I think we've got that now. So all I really have to do for initiative, so let's get started here. And we start with spotting phase. Of course, nobody's on the board, so nobody can spot. There's no command phase. Well, there is. The Germans are going to get their commands, and I get my commands. Now, their commands are the first command, first move, according to the scenario, is they all get a move command. So all they got to do is roll for how they're going to move. So we know they're going to get a move command. Over here, for my British, I can move these guys as a stack, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to have a move command on my recon vehicles, and then this tank group right here, because I have a command radius of 10. It's an optional rule, so I got to stay within 10 for my command unit, and he's going to move them as one group. So I'm just going to put that beside them, but they're going to move and function as one group until I start spreading them out. Now the Germans over here are going to do the same thing for their moves. They're all going to move. I'm going to put a move on each stack. Oops, knocked that stack over. But they're going to move as a group. And a move. And then down here, same thing. I put a move and a move, and all the way down here a move. So they're going to move. What we don't know what they're going to do yet is how are they going to move. They got a direction and things, and that's what we'll be looking at. Okay. Next we do initiative. Okay, for the British to get initiative, I'm going to roll 2 dice. The blue die is my tens digit. So I'm going to roll over here on my board. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but I'll pull them out here. And I got a 47. Okay, so 47, the Germans have the initiative. So up here on the turn track, just so you see, you have a British side and you have the Axis side. Okay, so they're going to start with initiative for this turn. And what that means is the British are going to move first, because when you get to the move phase, there we go, let me get my thing out here just so I can show you. We don't have any air phase, we don't have any combat phase, we're at movement phase. With no close assault or anything, so we're strictly move. Second player moves first. So the British are going to move first. Okay, so I got these guys coming on the board. They're a 6 wheeled vehicle, and they can move 6 off of the road. They get 13 on the road, 18 on a hard improved road. Okay. And so I quit calling it the wrong thing. I'm just going to look at my terrain effects. So here on the terrain effects, we have improved, we have road path, and we have, I'm looking for it. It's funny when you start filming, then you tend to lose things. We have road, path, and we have gully, fire, dust, ditch, defilade. Well, gee whiz, Dave. Oh, let me see. Probably looking right at it and missed it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We have the, this is the improved road. This is your path. Movement cost is 1 when you're driving on this. You can always turn one hex side 60 degrees and for free, but if you turn 2, then it costs you another point. And on the road path, you can see it is turn, so it costs me 1 movement point to turn more than 60, and my tracked vehicles, all my vehicles are a movement point of 1. Okay. Alright, so let's get this thing started. And right here, we're going to start with these guys. And they're coming out, and like I was showing you a second ago, they have a movement factor on the path of 13. 18 on the hard road, but 13. I'm going to move them together. I want to make sure, I'm going to try to get you a little closer without losing everything. The glare's a little heavy right there. That's the tough thing with plexiglass. It can be a little hard. Okay, here we go. Should be able to see this. So I have them pointed the right way. They always, on the road, when you use that movement, they have to end up facing whatever direction the road is. So they come on 1, that's a free turn. 2, 3, 4, 5, that's free, but now he turns 1 more. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, free, 12, 13, and the road's going that way, so they make the last little turn right there. Okay, he's on. Now my tanks are coming on, and my stewards on the path can move 8. They're coming on the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now they all go, they're just following suit right here. And he made his turn. I'm going to put my move markers beside them so that we know that we moved them. But they have not been spotted yet. Okay. Up here, we have coming in the sand. Okay. So, for a wheeled vehicle, and we're coming on to sand, not the soft sand, but the regular sand. It costs 1 to turn, but my wheeled vehicle, W, it costs him 4 movement points. Okay. Now, the rule is you can always move 1 as long as you're not prohibited from moving. So you can always move 1. Now, these guys are just like the other one. They're 6 wheel, so they move 6W, and they're not on a road, so they only get 6, but it costs them 4 per hex. So they moved 1 right there. And that's it. The British have moved. Okay. Now, we're going to come over here to the Germans, if I can get positioned here. And we're going to start moving these guys. Now, here, we have to start rolling for them. We already have their command, their automatic command on turn 1 is a move. Okay, so all we have to do is determine how they're going to move and what route they're going to take. Okay, most of this will be fairly straight up, but we got to roll. So we're going to start with this first group. It's number 1. And they're going to go to that highest victory road intersection up there, and they rolled a 40. Oops. They rolled a 46. Okay. So 46 here is the nearest VP hex, which of course is that one right there. And they are going to roll for their route. So we only roll 1 die, so I'll roll the other white die now. And they get an 8. Okay, so an 8 says take the fastest route. So the fastest route is on the road. All right, so this group's going on the road. And because we don't know what they are, they act as Panzer III H's. Here they are on this side. All right. So Panzer 3H, and they are a 4, track, 6, and 9. So the 6 on the path is what they're going to use. So they get 6 spaces. So we're going to bring this first group out 6 spaces. 1. See if I can zoom in a little bit so you can see a little better. 1, 2, 3, 1 turn, 4, 5, 1 turn, 6. So there they are, and they've moved. I'll set that beside them. All right, now for the next group. They're going to do 98. Okay. So 98 is the direction is towards the nearest friendly unit. So these guys would probably be the nearest one. So I still think they go straight down the road. And we're going to roll, and they get a 3. And a 3 is the safest route. So I think the safest route for them is following these guys right up through here. 2, 4, 5, and they'll stay right there. Oops, that fell off. Okay, we got one more to roll for. This one is 6. So 6 is, got you kind of close there. 6. Greatest cover hex. So they want to move, this has the cover in it right here. Okay. And they're going to go 3, which is the safest again. Now, for them, that cover up there, this is scrub. Okay, so for scrub, it costs the track vehicle 2 movement points to move into the scrub. All right, so here's how this one works. We'll see how this goes. They're going to come on the board. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to make their turn and go 5, 6, and now they're in the scrub. All right, so that's where they're sitting. Okay, now we come down. Now we're going to come down here for these guys and see what they do. Now we have group 14 through 16, their victory point location is up here. That's what they're trying to get to. The other 2 are trying to get down here. So this guy wants to get this way. Okay, so we're going to roll for him. He gets, a number 2. And the number 2 is greatest cover hex. So the greatest cover hex that he can get to, and now we roll, and he gets a 9. And a 9 is direct. So he's moving directly to it. Now they don't get, when you're on a road or a path, if you come off the path, you do not get to count the bonus that you were getting for moving onto there. So these guys are going to move they want to go directly to that. So they're going to come on here at 1, and they're going to move 2, 3, and that's as far as they can get because they only have 4 movement. So on a Panzer 3H, 4T, when he's off the path. Okay, so that's where they're going to sit at. All right, now we roll for this next group that's coming on. And they got 78. So 78 is highest value VP hex. Well, they're all the same, but they want to get to this one. And they rolled a 4, and a 4 is safest route. So for them, what would be the safest route? Well, that's interesting because there's nobody really there. There's no terrain form. I would say that they would probably try to take the path and kind of stay on it. So that's what we're going to do. And so for the path, they get 6. 1, 2, 3. They got to turn 4, 5, 6. So there they are. All right. Now for the last group down here. Let's see what they roll. They rolled 74. 74 and 6. All right. 74, highest value, same thing. 6, fastest. So they're going to take they want to take the road, even though when you're on the fastest, it's always on the path. So they, oops, here they come. I dropped my move counter. All right. So this stack's coming on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're pointing this direction right here. All right. Okay. We'll zoom back out. And so the board is, we have quite a bit of distance between everybody. And see where we're at here on our, so that's the end of the moves. Second air phase, pivot step. We're not doing any pivot. Adjust turret, full cover step, remove suppression, morale counters, just counters, end of turn. Okay, that's it for turn 1. So we're going to move this marker to turn 2. We're ready to do turn 2. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump into turn 2. First thing is spotting. Okay, so for spotting is on our game card. So we have spotting ranges. So we start with a base 0, and we're doing vehicle, so that's the V. So we start with 20 hexes, and everybody's moving. So spot move is +2, which brings you up to 40. So now we are all at a range of 40. So I can tell you pretty much, you can see all the way across this board. And with vehicles, you can see 360 degrees. So the farthest guy down here is number 14, and he's going to count all the way across to this guy. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 3, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. They can see all the way across. So all those guys are going to be spotted now. Same goes for me though. I can see them. Now the question is, can anybody see those guys? Way up there. So that would be these guys to there and these guys all the way up to there. So I'm going to do a count real quick and then I'll let you know what it is. Okay, for these guys, it's like 33 up to that group up there. 33, 35. So within the 40, same thing for these guys. So everybody's spotted on the board. All right. So I take my commands off because we're going to put these little spotting markers on them now. So this is a spot move, which gave them 2. So I'm going to place it on top of everybody. Right here. That was moving. Moving. Okay. And then, so you can see I marked all the stacks. And the same thing is going to happen up here. And I pulled my commands off the board. Same thing's going to happen up here. These guys are all spotted now, so the fog of war on this board clears up very quickly because it's wide open terrain. It's easy to see everybody coming across the desert. Okay, he was moving that way. This guy was moving up the trail, the dust. Okay. All right, so we've got everybody marked now. So now we do our command phase for the British. All right, so for them, they're still going to move because even though we can see them, we can't fire. We're nowhere near firing. So they're going to move. This is going to move again as a whole unit right there. Now, for the Germans, we don't know what they're going to do yet. And for them, that won't be determined until we get to their actually after the initiative when we get to their movement, because we don't know who's going to be what. And that is in the playbook. And I just want to pull that out again because there is an adjusted sequence of play. Let me find it here real quick. Solitaire game sequence of play. It starts on page 18. And so we do spotting and then we do command phase. It changes slightly from the standard game because we determine the commands for our formation. Well, at this point, I'm only using one command because the recon units all get their own individual commands, so they're all separate. So I don't have to I didn't have to calculate how many commands I get because right now I'm in my command radius and everybody's doing the same thing. So I'm good there. Okay, so here's where now we have to find out if they're activated because we spotted them, and then find out what their commands are going to be. So they're going to get a move, a short, halt, a fire, entrenching, because they're on the attack table. So, and then when it comes time for them to move, then we'll find out where they're going to move. So we got to go through and roll. On their activation is a -5 to the Germans on this activation roll. 40 or less, they get activated. So now we got to start going through all these guys and see who's going to be activated. And then if they are, how many and what they are. Okay, this is where we spend a lot of time rolling the dice. So number 1, and we need high numbers. We got 33. So he's activated. And I have to get my scenario book up here. We have to roll to see how many units are activated. So we roll again. And it is, that's good. I forgot, higher number is better. 92. Number of units activated, 55 or more, is only one. So only one of them got activated. And now we roll to see what it is. So we roll here, and it is 84. Okay, 84. And 84, we look at these numbers. And 73 to 91, it's a Panzer 4E. So number 1 is a Panzer 4E. Now here's where I have to keep a little bit of track right here. On my sheet, I need to know that Unit 1 is unit number 187. So I'm going to write that on here, 187. This is so that when I've got everybody revealed, we know where they're at. And when the counter's like this, the front of the tank is to the left. So it'll be upside down coming this way towards us. Okay, so I put it here. And that was unit number 1. So I can take that one off the board now. Okay, now we're going to roll for unit number 2. And we're going to get, and I can zoom in a little bit now so you can see what's going on up there. And we roll a 61. So 61 is a fake unit. Get my sheet out here. -5 is 56. 41 or more, fake. So number 2 is out of the game. There's nothing there. Okay, number 3. He is 15. He's a real unit. Now we see how many are there. 29. Uh-oh. 29. Number of units is 2. So we have 2 units, and now we're going to roll to see what they are. The first unit is 38. And a 38 is Panzer 3H. Okay, Panzer 3H. And this is going to be number 142. Mark him down. Now, the first unit always goes in the center square. The second unit that we have to determine what he is. There we go. He is a 29. Oops. And the 29 is Panzer 3H. Be number 145. Okay. And now we need his direction. So we roll a 10-sided die. And we're on board 40. And we roll an 8. Okay. So the way this works is we're looking at right here, board 40. Oops, board 40. If we'd have rolled 1 through 6, he would have been in one of these hexes outside that center. 7 through 10, he goes in the center hex. So they're stacked up over there. So he also is going there. Okay, that was number 3. And now we have number 4. And he is going to be 28. Daggone. Keep on rolling these guys. He's activated. How many tanks is it going to be? 17. Uh-oh. 17 is... Oops. Sorry. 17 is 3. So there's going to be 3 tanks here for number 4. All right. First tank is 23. 23 is a Panzer 3G. Okay, so a different model. Be number 140. Okay, he goes here. He's the center tank, so he goes on there first. And now we roll for the next tank. It is going to be a 35. 35's Panzer 3H. Okay, so this is the main tank. 149. Okay, now we got to roll to see his location. Is going to be 8. So he stayed in the stack. One more. This tank is going to be 15. 15 is Panzer 3G. Okay, so we do another 3G. 136. And we roll to see his location. Is going to be a 6. Okay, so this one is on direction number 6. So for him, right here. 6 is down this way. So he's actually sitting right here underneath this stack. That was it for group number 4. They're done. Okay. Now, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do all these. I'm going to go through all my rolls and we're going to see where everybody's at. And then I'll come back and show you what we got. Okay, so I went through the rolling, established everybody was spotted, and then rolled to see what units were there. And I got everybody, all the Germans stacked up here. So we know all the armor's out on the board now. And then what I went ahead and did was roll for their command phase. So the first thing I did, of course, was place the British commands down here. You can see the move markers. And then we had to roll for all the German commands. And the way we do that is here on this table. Get out a little bit. There is command, and they are attack, and they roll, and excuse me, 49% chance that you're going to hit a move order. Move order. And then short halt, fire, and they have little numbers by them that tell you notes. So if there's this or that. So almost, in fact, not almost, all the orders were either that we got were either move, an overwatch, or a no command. Okay. So we're all set there. And so now we're ready to go into our next phase, which is command phase is over. Now it's initiative phase. Okay. So I roll. Their initiative is 50. I roll 74. So I have the initiative. So this time on turn 2, we mark it as my initiative. And so that means the Germans are going to move, take their actions first, their move actions, because there are no fire actions to do. If we had fire actions, combat phase, I would go first, but there's not. So we do movement phase, and the movement phase will be the second player. So the Germans are going to move first. So just so you know, there is a lot of die rolling when you get this going. Now I got to roll for each tank's command. So we come back over to this chart. We're going to go on move action, where they have a move. I got to roll to see what it tells me to do, and then what route to take. Okay. A lot of cases the route doesn't matter because the direct route, the safest route, they're all going to be there. Safest might be to get into some of the cover, but most of the time it's just going to be straight up. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to go through, roll all these, and then I'll come back and show you where everything's at, because I don't want you to, I know nobody wants to sit there and watch me roll dice and move one at a time. So I'll go through, make all the German moves, then I'll come back, and then we can do the British moves live and show you the way things are setting up. All right, so that's where I'll leave it, and then I'll be back. All right, so you can see these German units have moved. These moved. These guys either have no command or overwatch. And then down here, all of these guys are moving where they have some overwatch going on. All right, so we're coming to the British. I'm going to move these guys. It costs them 4 here, so they can only move 1. So they moved. Now I did these two. I gave these 2 separate orders because I'm going to have them go different directions here. So this guy's going to move. He's on the path, so we can go 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he's there. he's kind of closing in up here to see what's going on. This guy, he's moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's facing that way. Okay, so here's where I moved this guy. He came along the trail, made his turn, came down, he's facing this direction. Alright, so I got those two guys kind of being in position, hoping that somebody will come along here in the firing range. So we'll see how that goes on the next turn. Alright, now we come to our tank squadron up here, and we're going to move this as a unit. They're all on the path, they're all the same type, and they're all moving 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they all follow suit. So all my stewards, they're moving up slowly. Here they come. Okay, all right. So big picture, as much as I can give you here with the map. These guys are slow going through the sand, but they're going to hit this trail. Not going to help. So I'm going to send, my plan is up here to send one guy across here into this gully, see if we can get close. 2 of these guys up this way, one of them through this gully, and maybe another one farther up and then into the gully. Yeah, so that's kind of the plan. We'll see how it shakes out. Here I got a guy right here, so he's trying to spot up in here or back down here. And I got, of course, this guy sitting right here. He's close to the victory point. The tanks are coming up. Let's see, if they stay on this path, they'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll get around this rough area. I'm probably going to drop my command tank here because 10 hexes for him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can get to both victory points, and I don't want him to get blasted out if I can keep him from doing it. So he can give commands that way. So once I get here, things are going to split. So I got to know that coming into this next move, and that's where I have to establish how many commands I have. All right, so yeah, it took us 2 turns just to get everything to shape up. And then, of course, the Germans got a large tank force here and a couple scout vehicles that are starting to pull up here now. And then up ahead, up here, we have the same thing going on. We have a smaller force. A little bit of it broke out there, but I don't have any tanks up there. So they're going to get to their victory point for sure before I do. What I want to do is once some of that group's going to split off and start coming down the road here, and I'm hoping to have my guy sitting here and he can blast away maybe. Well, that's the hope anyway. All right, so this has been 2 turns, and we're gonna, let's see, I gotta finish up my turn. So we have movement phases done, and then the adjustment phase. I can do pivot steps. These guys here, they would pivot this direction just so they could face the right way. This Overwatch, he was on the road. I think I'll just leave him like that. This guy here, he's on Overwatch, he'll pivot. The 1 hex. And this guy was on Overwatch. He was going up the road, and I'm not going to do anything with him because he's in no danger. And then these guys are all good up top there. Okay, so some minor adjustments down here for their facing, but other than that, that's it. That's the end of the turn. We will go ahead and move the turn counter to turn 3. And then when we come back, we'll start our command phase again. Well, our spotting, but again, everybody's spotted. There's no big deal there. So then we'll be getting into command phases again, what everybody's doing, and of course then initiative, and then finally all our movements. So I'll do on the next couple turns too like I did on this one, which is abbreviate all the dice rolls or go ahead and move everybody once I tell you what they're doing, and then you'll be able to see it. All right, so this is the first 2 turns, playing with the solo rules. Hopefully I got it right. You can see there's, for me, if I was playing without video and it goes much quicker than it does when you're videoing, because I don't have to pull the dice out and show you and all that stuff. And so it doesn't take quite as much time, but you still got to roll the dice a lot, because that's how the AI works, which is cool with me. I don't mind that. That's part of the game. All right, well, we'll get this one posted, and then we'll get ready for the turns, at least turns 3 and 4 by, I would say probably somewhere around turn 4, maybe even turn 3, we'll start to get into some combat here, and then we'll see how things are going to go from there. All right, hope you're enjoying it so far, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Oh, by the way, as always, give me that thumbs up, leave your comments, as you always do, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. All right, see you guys.